morning. This is Tamara for Women in Shoes magazine. This morning we have another great interview with another wonderful female entrepreneur. First, we want to make sure that you're following us on social media. It's womeninshoesmag.com. And then also on Instagram, we are Women in Shoes Mag. You can also follow me on my blog, caramellattesandstilettos.com, and the same on Instagram. This morning we have June Smith. She is the founder, CEO, the owner of Tash Cosmetics. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great this morning. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for this amazing opportunity to be speaking with you this morning.
Well, it's wonderful to have you because we get, the awesome chance to just interview so many different women from different walks of life and that are doing so many innovative and amazing things. And as far as I've been doing interviews for Women in Shoes, we have not had someone who's owned a cosmetics company. So for me, with a background as an esthetician and a freelance makeup artist, I'm really excited to have you on the line.
Oh, wonderful. That's great. I'm excited that I'm the first one. Thank you so much.
Yes. So we're going to jump right in. Tell us a little bit about what the brainchild was for your cosmetic line.
Oh, the brainchild. I've always loved beauty as a little girl growing up in Jamaica. I'm from Jamaica. But it started with the Incredible Corn Concealer. And the Incredible Corn Concealer is a product that's used to conceal the discoloration on the feet that's caused by corns. And I developed corn on my toes when I first started. I went for an interview at a job that I had for 18 years, but the first time I went for my interview, I wore these shoes for the first time. And I want people to remove this notion out of their heads that corns and calluses are caused by shoes that are not fitted properly, because it can be caused by the material of the shoes. It can be a simple treading in the shoes that just rub against our skin, and also to let others know and our listeners know that black women and black ethnic skin tones, actually, we have very sensitive skin. So when I wore my shoe, my feet was just sliding down in the shoe because it was sweaty and I was walking very far. And so I had burning on my toes when I got home, and I was like, oh my God, what happened? And then when I check it out, I got this hard callus on my toes. So that's when I developed corns. And after I did, it was very embarrassing because I would, try to use all the products that were out there to, see if I could bring the corn down. I would do my pedicure, but it would leave the skin looking discolored. And so I just didn't want to expose my toes. Nothing else wrong with my feet, but that corn and my little toe, was just a constant. It's like I didn't like it. And so then I had other women around me that, when I go to Jamaica and, even my niece that came to visit, the first thing was I want shoes that will cover my corn, that will, protect my feet. And so, this whole thing about the corn. And so one night I was just lying in bed and I was just thinking about, and I finally came up with, we have all these products to, conceal blemishes on our face, all these pimples, all these scars that are left, but nobody ever thought about something for the feet. And so I got up and I started doing my research, and I'm like, oh my God, and so what I did, I got in touch with, a major cosmetic company over here in Canada, and I contacted them and, equipped with my legal documents and all of that. I went to them and I, spoke to them about, providing me with a product for the feet, and within 6 months I had that product. And it's waterproof, and it lasts up to 24 hours. And after I developed that product, I had women that were asking me if they could use it on their face, and you can't use it on your face because there's special ingredients in there that, give it that long-lasting wear and conceals, for 24 hours. So I got into that, and I have all these questions, and so I decided to just do my complete line of makeup, and that's how we started. So in 2009, I launched the Incredible Corn Concealer, and then in 2011, I launched my complete line of makeup for women of color. And I specifically did that for women of color because I also had trouble finding products that would match my skin tone, and I didn't have to mix and match. So so that's how it all started with Tash Cosmetics.
I have to say that first of all, makeup makes me happy and it makes me very excited. So that's number one. So like I said, when I saw it, I was like, oh yes, this is awesome. But then when I looked at the website and I saw the concealers for women of color, and the concealers especially, but the foundations and things like that, that made me so excited because that's one of the things that when I go out to do makeup, I'm typically doing makeup for photo shoots, like headshots, like video shoots, or I'm doing them makeup for weddings. And one thing that I get from women of color in general, and I just want to, for the listeners, preface and say that women of color is not just black women. It's women with a Hispanic background, women that have that are Indian. There's a different way that you have to treat the skin when it is not from a Caucasian background. And so looking at the concealers and things like that, that made me very excited because I have just, when I get to my destination when I'm doing makeup, a lot of times, because I'm light-skinned, and so a lot of times the women, if they're any darker than me, they'll look at me and go, oh, God, she's not going to be able to match my skin. And what they don't understand is, number one, no shade, no disrespect to anybody that is self-taught as a makeup artist or anything like that, but I have a licensed background, and so I actually do understand skin because I went to school for aesthetics. And so I do understand matching skin tone and things like that. And so to see these colors was very exciting to me because it is hard to find professional-grade products, and that's the kind of thing that I like to have in my kit that sets me apart because anybody can just go to the store and get like a drugstore product and say, boom, I do makeup. But I like to have something that's a little more exclusive, something that is not always readily available because it gives you a luxury vibe, when someone sits down in my chair and is getting their makeup done because, me coming to you as a makeup artist is a concierge service, and so you don't want to feel like you're paying my prices and I went and I got Revlon, which, some of those, and, like I said, no shade, because there are some Revlon colors that are really great. I love the Black Radiance foundation sticks and things like that, but I'm always excited when we cater to ourselves and make sure that we have products that we can use on ourselves because we come in so many different shades, and we have to be able to address everyone.
And you're right about that. When we say women of color, and you're right, it's not just black women. It is the Hispanic, it is the Latinos. They have that melanin also, and we need to be able to match them. I remember doing one of our photo shoots, and we had to get this lighter skinned girl to replace one of our models. And the first thing she says was, "Oh my God, I'm so light skinned. Do you guys have our product?" And she's actually one of our models on our website, and she was just blown away. She couldn't believe that we matched her skin so perfectly. And that's why we try to get away from the, mixing. And our slogan on our thing is, we don't mix, we match. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to stay in that lane of providing products for women of color so that we don't have to be running around and trying everything else. And you're right, the corner store, the dollar store products, and, they're mixing and matching and mixing all these different products. Yes, you will probably get close to that shade, but everybody wants to just slap that makeup on and that foundation and the concealer and know that, they don't have to worry about mixing it with something else. So that's one of the things that I love about Tash Cosmetics.
So when you started your cosmetic company, one of the other things we talk about with a lot of the interviews I do is just as women, just being encouraging and motivating to one another, because there is a woman who is out here that's going to listen to this interview and say, oh, my gosh, like that's where I want to go, or I've always envisioned myself doing that, and I see her doing it, so that is encouraging for me to do it too. Can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges that you had along the way and some of the a couple of your major successes along the way with starting your company?
What I would say to anyone that's listening, the first thing that you must have a deep passion for what is it that you want to do. It's not something that comes easily. It's not something that happens overnight. There are challenges, especially if you're just starting. We're not like Estee Lauder, CoverGirl, MAC. We don't have our name out there. We know that if MAC or Estee Lauder or CoverGirl come out and say, we have some mud that will help your skin, everybody's going to flock to the store to get it because they know about those companies, because they're aware of it, but they don't know about you. So you have to be persistent. You have to accept the no's and just use those as your stepping stone to greatness. Don't get discouraged. It is hard, but once you believe in what you're doing, you'll find the courage. And I always go back to, and I always tell, others that are listening to me or that I'm speaking to is always go back to that moment when that light bulb went off. That is your inspiration. That moment where you thought of, oh, yes, this is what I want to start, and this is what I want to start doing. And once you can go back to that moment, it will give you the desire to go on. The challenges, getting funding, getting people to know about your business, getting people to know about your company. Be true to who you are. Don't say that you're doing one thing and then you do something else, because it will come out. It will be revealed. So be true to who you are. Stand behind your product. Believe in yourself. Keep the noise out. Others will be doing the same thing like you. They want to do the same thing like you, but make sure that you're doing your best, because it's your service that others are going to be looking at and will have that desire to want to, purchase from you. My proudest moment is when I was recognized as one of 50 Fabulous Women Entrepreneur by Black Businesswoman Online. That really came as a surprise to me, because you don't know who is watching you. And those are some of the things that happens is when you're pushing, when you're, no matter what it is. I'm a single mother with 3 boys. College educated. I did all of that while, running a business, and that's 8 years ago. So I had 3 kids that were in, high school and then went on to college, and I still persist. I still went on because I believed in what I was doing. And then when I listened to others and what they want and what is not out there and what is it that we need, I wanted to be that person to fill that need. So that's what I want to say to people, is to just believe in what you're doing and just keep pushing forward.
And I like what you said about keep the noise out. That one is, yes, I think, so huge. It's one of those things that I know definitely is easier said than done, but I think that's one that we forget to mention a lot of times, is that, you're going to have noise coming from friends, coming from family. One thing one of my mentors told me is that when you start to walk in your light, there are going to be so many people that are attracted to your light that you have to have the power of discernment to keep that clutter away from you as you're on your journey. So I love, like when you said that just really kind of hit home, because you don't hear many people say that.
Oh, yeah, you have to keep the noise out. When I started 8 years ago, when I started my product, and keep things to yourself. When you're doing things, keep as much of that information to yourself. When I did my corn concealer, I had learned before that I talked too much, because I was always happy for others. So I thought that everybody would be happy for me. And so I did my corn concealer, I did everything, did my packaging, did everything before I even, introduced it to my family. I had a dinner where I introduced them to it. And then after maybe 5 or 6 months, I had a family member who told me, you know what, if this is not working for you, I think you should give it up, because it's not working for you. And I didn't listen because I knew what I had. And then this year, 2016, I became the first 2016 Businesswoman of the Year. So, for one person to tell you to give it up and then you are nominated as 2016 Businesswoman of the Year, that's an inspiration for me, and that's one of the reasons why I keep going because, your work will speak for itself. Just keep going. There are other people that are going to tell you don't do it because they know they didn't do it or they couldn't do it. So you just keep doing it no matter what it is. I always say before I do anything, I pray first. And as long as I get that okay from God, I'm gone. Because if there's something, he'll stop me. He'll stop me in my track, and I'll know that, it's something that he doesn't want for me.
Well, and, I think some people, it's not a slight against them or anything, but, you have to have people that work a 9-to-5 or work a more structured job, and you have to have people who are entrepreneurs because those entrepreneurs have to employ the people that work the more structured job. And so I think sometimes when you have that entrepreneurial spirit, I think people that don't have that spirit all the time, they don't really understand, why you have that passion, why you have that drive. They don't understand what it looks like, because when you work for yourself, it's not like you get a paycheck every week. You may get paid once a month or something like that. And so I think it gets discouraging sometimes for people who have that entrepreneurial spirit when they're actually walking out on faith, to say, okay, let me keep going. And it's very easy to get distracted because you have those people that are like, well, you didn't get paid this week, or how are you making it, or what are you doing, when they're questioning. So it's really important not to give into those doubts because those, can really pull you back and pull you away from your purpose.
Yeah, it's a distraction.
A total distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as the cosmetic line, have you worked with any makeup artists or anybody in specific to help get the word out about TAJJ Cosmetics?
Well, I have a few people that I'm working with and that I've worked with. I'm mostly doing my my marketing and stuff, online, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We have our beauty shows that we do. So we're still, pushing our products out there, and it's gotten better. I mean, I actually quit my job last June, to dedicate myself to it 100%, because I was still working a full-time job, and I found that I was getting really, really tired. I was up late at night. I was responding to emails. I was filling orders because our products are sold online. So I was doing a lot of that. So I stepped out in faith to say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to dedicate myself to my business because it's my passion. It's what I want to do. So, we're still in the process of doing stuff and doing it the right way and getting, the makeup artist. I want to get it in the hands of someone who can really take it to the next level because it's an amazing product.
Definitely. Where can we find your cosmetic line? Where can we purchase? Where can we buy? Are you coming to any event soon coming up where we can come out and purchase the product?
Yes, actually, we will be in New Jersey next Saturday and Sunday, 21st and 22nd, at the International Hair and Beauty Show. Meadowland Plaza. So that's where we'll be next week. And our products are also sold online. We ship international. So you go online and you see something. And if you have questions, you can always send us an email or call us and we will answer your questions. If you want to know about, how to get your powder, because I know it's very hard to match your skin tone with, when purchasing foundation. And so we'll guide you along that and how you can, ensure that you purchase the right product. So, so for now it's the International Beauty Show. That's what we're having. And we will be doing the Bronner Brothers in Atlanta in August also.
Yay!
So we have a lot of things coming up. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, because then that means I have to stop by your booth because I didn't go in February, but I usually go to the one in August, though.
Okay, so we'll see. I'll get to meet you.
Yay. Well, give us the website and give us all of your social media so we can make sure that we're following you and that we're checking out the corn concealer and everything else that you have in your product line.
Yes, summer is coming up, and a lot of ladies out there have discoloration on their feet. I'm seeing it already. So we're Tash Cosmetics straight across the board on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. We're all LinkedIn. We're all Tash Cosmetics. TAJJ Cosmetics.com.
Thank you so much, June, for joining us today and sharing a little bit about your journey.
Thank you so much for having me and for me to share my information with you. Thank you so much.